Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Thought I'd jump on and say hi. We've got some nice weather here in DFW. Playing catch up on things, typical Monday. So we've got some things like unwrapping a Tesla Model X, which we did this morning. Should have went live doing some of that, but I was in a rush to just get the job done. So I got that done. Do need to go wash that car. And then now we are printing, which you can kind of see over there. Printing a bunch of wraps for a commercial install. So we've got an 8-foot and a 12-foot table, top and sides that we have to wrap. And then we've got a freestanding wall, front, back, and sides. And then we've got a kiosk that also needs to get wrapped. So that is what is being printed right there. So I figure, what the heck, jump on while we're printing and doing things, see how everybody else is doing today. So yeah, that is what is going on right now. I do have to double check a few things on that print because I believe we still have the big ones to do, which is the 12-foot. Should probably kiosk wrap design. Yeah, I should probably wait and pull off all that print production stuff that we have sitting there and figure out what I'm missing so we can get the right things into print. I don't know where my little, here it is. My glasses are dirty. That's a little better. Actually, I'm gonna check something. One momento. All right, we're good. We are good. Oh, that reminds me, I do have another do have a whole nother set of jobs that I got to do. Commercial window front, or window front and window insides and walls. And they were wanting it done like by Friday, and I didn't even get the art approved till Friday morning. So, to say the least, that's not happening that quick. So, I do have to get that stuff figured out too. So I've got to start producing some of these. Oh yeah, there's etched glass look too. So it's kind of a combination of different jobs or different projects for that job. Actually, I can kind of show you some of the mock-ups. Hang on one sec. Boom. So yeah, so this is basically what we've got going on. So we've got this graphic going on that big office wall. This is just a mock-up. And we've got this, which is basically made to be, it's etched vinyl. So it looks like etched glass. And then we reverse cut it out with the logo and their name. That'll be in the office door. Then we've got that logo going on the outside office door. These two on the inside office doors. And then these two are going on the outside conference room window. So yeah. And then these go, let's see, yeah, those are those graphics. So, and then they want some carpet mats too, but I'm not going to do that in this run, so we'll follow up with that after. So yeah. So that's basically that project. And then the other one, let me go see if I can find, nope, already got that done. That was custom name badges. Let's see, let me go back over here and see if I can find that one. That one is, oh yeah, here it is, point of rental. So that one, I don't really have, I've got all the panels. I could probably bring in the mock-ups or the proofs as well. Yeah, so here's, let me bounce back over here. Yeah, so here's the proof for the, so this is basically a 20-foot long table. And so I'll show you a different angle of that, but that's getting wrapped tops, sides. Then this is the wall, if you will. It's kind of a semi-freestanding wall that's attached to the back of the table. So there's a back, which should be wrapped. There's the sides, and then there's the front. Hang on. Let me do it this way. Yeah, here you go. So that's the 20-foot table that's going to get wrapped. It's actually an 8-foot and a 12-foot table that makes up that. And then this is getting the, that's that freestanding wall. Then there is a kiosk. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah. So then this kiosk is also getting wrapped. So this again is a mock-up. So we've got to wrap that. And then this is the back, which is going to be a little bit of fun because you've got all these vent holes, this recess or this bulk area with the doors, and then all the vents and all the connectors. So that one's going to be a little bit of fun, but hey, it's what we do, right? So that is that other job that I was referring to earlier. So those are the things that we've got working at the moment. Plus normal small jobs. So but like I said, I figure I just jump on, say hi, get you guys caught up on some things going on. Got the door open. It's actually really nice. It's getting warmer. It's probably in the 80s now, but just nice to get some fresh air in here. No comments from anybody. I mean, you know, I'm not seeing anything on the chat, so I'm sure there's somebody there. I see watchers. I just don't see chatters. I should have went live this morning when I was unwrapping that Tesla. Although I can show you some of the pictures for those of you that aren't following our Facebook page, and of course right now Facebook's down, so it's kind of irrelevant. But here, let me bring this up too. You can kind of get a sense for the unwrap that we did. Here we go. Yeah, so that was the Tesla that we had wrapped a year and a half ago or so. And I guess it was a lease. So started to unwrap. Got the old Big Bertha out, which is our torch that throws about a 4-foot flame. Helps warm up the material, reactivate the adhesive, and makes it easier to remove. So it is officially all removed. Only thing I got left to do really is go run it through the car wash real quick, and it is ready for pickup, which I found out actually the manager that's picking it up is actually coming up from Austin, so a little bit of a haul for him to come pick this up. But I guess that's where they bought it, or they had it down there for like the first 6 months before we wrapped it. So yeah, that was this morning. And now is just, is that print still going? Looks like we have stopped. So I might be caught up on the prints. So now, next thing is to get all that off the roller on the printer, bring it into the production room and double check the prints, and then figure out if there's anything that we missed that we haven't printed yet. Sorry, dealing with an email. And then we will be ready to finish whatever panels we haven't printed yet. And then I can start on this other job that I was just showing you guys, which is the window graphics, wall graphics, outside wall window graphics, etc. All that's got to get going, because that really, we need to try and get that installed tomorrow, and then that other big table and wall and all that stuff maybe Wednesday or Thursday. What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man? Hopefully things are going well with you too. Probably need to go pull that, like I said, pull that job off the printer. In which case, I will not be able to chat, or I can talk, but you guys should be able to hear me. I just won't be able to see any comments. And you probably won't be able to see what I'm doing. Let me do this. Maybe I can get this. Hang on one second. It's a bit of a mess out there right now, but it is what it is. Just driving. Fun. Driving and watching YouTube. That's always good. And chatting on YouTube. You going to a job or just out running around? Wonder if, I just noticed that interesting. I'm cropping that whole thing out. Let me try it again this way and see. I can't quite tell what's getting cropped on my, you grabbing lunch. Cool. Yeah, I got to sneak out with my wife and my grandson and go have some Mediterranean buffet, so that was good, although now I'm completely stuffed. Can't tell how far behind this. Guess it really doesn't matter. Whoops. Silly camera just went berserk. All right, let's do this. See if I can get the camera to straighten up, but I'm gonna go unload those pieces. Like I said, I won't be able to see any comments, but I will be able to chat a little bit. Um, but let me switch to, hang on, let me check something real quick. Oh, my belly. Stuffed. Okay, that's bizarre. That camera is just flipping out. Just flipping out. It's like I'm not even getting a picture now. We got to get up to at least 1,000 to make it, make sense for me to do something like that. All right, let's see if we can get the camera. All right, so let's try this. I'm gonna toggle over to the cameras, or the camera that's out in the production room, even though it's not the best, because that's where I'm gonna go and unload these rolls, and then I will be back in. So let's try this. So yeah, goofy camera, but it is what it is. So let me go do this real quick. Oh man, I'm bleeding again. Let me so pull this roll off the printer, take it out there, figure out what. All right. So let's bust that. Okay. Heading out. So Alright. Okay. Semi-back. Let's see where we're at now. Guess I need to bring up that piece of art. Rental. And then this is the table V2 art. Table V2 and V1. Let's bring those up and take a look. Yep, they are in the art. Those problems are in the art. That sucks. Let's go to V1. Yep, they're there. So let's see, table, tech table. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, they're in the art. Let's see. Guess we will bring it up in Illustrator and take a look. But yeah, so you can see the lines that were showing up in the print. So I just want to see if they're in the original vector art, because they're in the rasterized art in Photoshop. So that is the tech table. What's up, Leonardo? How you doing, man? Trying to figure out what's going on with this art. There they are. No? Man, I cannot tell. Yeah, it sure looks like black lines right there, but man, it is hard to tell. Oh yeah, right there. Yep, they are there. What the heck is that? Man, that's a pain in the butt. That's in their art though. Not much I can do. It's been good, man. It has been good. Except when I find stuff like this where the customer art was screwed up, but what can I do? I can only give them what they give me. And at this point, it's 20 something feet of material, so, and not cheap material. So, what I need to find right now is, okay, kiosk. Okay, so that is kiosk. Okay, so kiosk 1. Let's do this. I'm gonna add kiosk 2, kiosk 3, kiosk 2 and kiosk 3, and then wall 2. Wall 2, wall 2, wall 2. All right, so all those, if I combine those, nest them. Whoops, shoot. I didn't nest them, I friggin' started printing them. Not what I wanted. Delete. Let's try it again. Design 1, no, design, no, it's wall 2, and kiosk 2 and 3. Kiosk 2 and 3, there we go. Nest, not rip, okay. Now, I can try and relay these out. That's still not really efficient use of the space. Is what it is, I guess. You know what? What is that? I can probably add. Let me cancel this real quick. Unnest. And then let me add design. Wall 1. Let's add wall 2. All right. Now let's nest all those together. Boom. All right. That looks better. Still not the most efficient use of material, but it's better. And that is 100 inches long. All right. You guys still getting my audio okay? It was showing that the mic was blinking on me, so I wasn't quite sure. So let me know in the comments, please. Okay, so this is wall design 2. Wall route design 2. Yeah, wall 1, wall 2. And then also kiosk design 2 and 3. Okay, so that's all those pieces. See how that rip works. So did you finish lunch, Eddie? How was lunch? What'd you end up eating? Hey man, how are you? You snuck on, did you? Getting take a break from work? Hey, there you go. We're all in here now. I don't know about that, but McDonald's. Oh man, nasty. I don't even know when I last had that, probably 20 plus years ago. As I said earlier, so I've got a project for one customer that is a 8-foot table wrap and a 12-foot table wrap that's going to be combined into a 20-foot table. Then there's a freestanding faux wall that goes on the back, so that has to get wrapped all the way around all four sides. And then there's a kiosk that also has to get wrapped for them. So that's kind of what we've got in production right now. And then after that, I've got to do some other stuff that I was showing earlier. Some wall graphics, some window graphics inside and outside, and then some etched vinyl inside graphics on a interior door. Oh yeah, the 8600 really. 8600 is a good machine. But yeah, you could always get the 9000 or the Suma. 360s. I mean, I don't have a problem with the 360. It's just not my thing. Because you get the new 365s and, you know, etc. But heck, there's a lot of people out there now with the 315s and all that stuff too. So, and then of course Epson's got their version, which is like 25 grand. But I'm like, if I'm happy sticking with the solvent. But like I said, to each their own. There's no perfect solution. Everything's got its positives and negatives. So, as we all know. I do have to go wash that Tesla that I unwrapped before they pick that up, but I don't think they're going to come to pick that up actually till tomorrow. So the Model X is fun to drive anyhow. It's crazy quick, crazy quick. Well, so screen printing, we got back into that about a year before COVID, um, and hadn't made it a major priority. It was just something that we got out of a long time ago, and then had enough interest and got back in, and did okay with it. We just didn't really market it heavy. Um, it was kind of just a value add for us for our other print side. And then, like I said, when COVID hit and we ended up moving everything back, or not back, we'd never been home, but moving everything home, the screen printing stuff went in storage. So I'm not really screening anymore. I've got two friends that are local that screen that give me good deals. So for those customers, I'm just sending that out, brokering that out for them. So the embroidery we're still doing in-house, but again, on that same thing, it's not been a priority focus. So, I mean, signage, wraps, that side of the business is definitely our bread and butter. So it's like anything else. It just depends on your niche. I know plenty of screen guys that tried getting into signage and it just wasn't their thing. You know, they do really great at screening. So I've got a customer that's a broker. Well, I do some work for him on the print side. He's thought about getting into print, the stuff that we do, signage, etc., wraps, because he's got a lot of requests coming in from customers. The problem is it's not what he knows. And I mean, in 3 years, he went from zero to $1.5 million. So he's doing well screen printing and embroidery. So stick with what you know and where your niche money's coming in. That's like when we have those conversations about what's the best printing method, you know, as far as shirt, you know, shirt type stuff. It's like, well, you know, you got obviously screen printing, you've got HTV, which can be printed heat transfer or regular old school heat transfer. Of course, you've got sublimation, and then of course you got DTG, and then of course now you kind of have DTF, but it's really a transfer too, right? So, you know, everyone's got their places. My least favorite of all of them is DTG, but I know a couple people that do real well with DTG because that's their niche. But I know a lot more people that have tried DTG and got out of it and sold it because it was just costing them too much money to have around. Just wasn't worth it. So it's all based on your niche, how well you can pick stuff up, how well you can market it, and then what your customer base is like. Let me check on that print real quick. Looking good. Ugh. So getting all these guys ready, getting this art set up as to what I need to do with this. So that one is the etched reverse cut. That one is 22. Which one's that one? I don't know which one that one is. Which one is that one? Wealth Wave, Wealth Wave. 22-inch Wealth Wave. That's a 30-inch and a 28-inch. Okay, so this is the inside doors, inside door. I don't remember which one this one is. I gotta go back and look. That's that wall white. That one's that window white. That one is the printed outside window, and then that one's white outside window. So yeah. So those all have to get going here pretty soon as well. I think right now it's really just a matter of waiting. Wait on those prints to finish, and then I'll start on this next batch. Then I will go wash. Oh, interesting. I'll go wash the Tesla. Special pricing on clear acrylic sheets. Yeah, well, their price is still not that great. Oh well. No comments on what I said? I mean, you know, he asked a question and then didn't say anything. I got to assume you got busy. Excuse me. I haven't even really been doing much sublimation. You know, every once in a while, it's like it picks back up, and we think about getting the F570, and then it stops. Like I'm barely doing any sublimation, so. We did, I think the last job we did was some masks, which was for somebody for a trade show, but we had done a bunch of other stuff for them for that trade show, so that was just kind of a value add for that as well. You still getting my audio? It's weird. It's showing, it's dropping out. Maybe that's why you're not saying anything, because you're seeing my mouth move, but you're not hearing me. I don't know. Let me know if you're getting audio or not. It'd sure be nice to know. It shows that I should be getting audio, but you are getting audio. Okay, good. Or you are busy. Or what? Could be any of the above, or all of the above. Getting some nice weather down there. It's 84 here and sunny. Slightly warm in the sun, but otherwise it feels nice. Roundabout? Did you hear me answer that question? You thinking about getting an automatic then? It almost seems like that's the only way to go for me. I mean, it's like downscale to like a 4-color with micro registration that's small to do like small stuff, and or get at least a 6.8 automatic. I mean, it's really the only way, because I mean, like right now, I don't miss not screen printing. I mean, or I don't miss screen printing. So, we've, like I said, that's out on storage. So, but, the two friends, one of them specifically, I mean, he gives me such a good deal. And he's got an 810 rock. And so it's like so cheap. I don't have to mess with it. I just can't do things on my timeline. That's the only negative, right? So, if it's a week or 2 weeks, it is what it is. But I just prep the art like I would normally and throw it over to him. And I usually buy the shirts and I drop them off or have them shipped to him. He's right up the road from my old office or my old shop, so it's easy. Wow, 600 and 400? Yeah, that's a good quantity. Um, but again, I sent that out, and the last job of 400 I sent out to him, and he knocked them out for me in like, an hour and a half. um, so it was like, I mean, the cost and space and process and everything else for me to add that in an automated form just still wouldn't be justified unless I'm doing, 400 shirt orders a day, then no problem. But, when he can handle that, and I can still make real good money. So, oh, interesting. So they want to see your equipment. That's interesting. I don't have that issue um, specifically, but I know that the nicer shop setups do like to, hell yeah, let me give you a tour because they're trying to show off, right? Um, so that makes sense. But usually you just have your samples, your print samples available, and they look at it and they pick, the shirt and the same prints. They can see the print quality, then they're good to go. But yeah, I guess a smaller community. I don't have that issue. Definitely not in a smaller community. But that may be a good niche for you. I don't know if there's other automated screen printers nearby or not. Because if there's not, you might be able to broker to other shops. Hang on one sec. You talking about Austin or San Antonio? Is that what ATX or SAT is? Or are those resellers, or what is that? All right, let's see. Aviation shorthand. So I'm assuming that's what it was. Okay, got it. Really? So they're sending them out to those areas. I mean, so to your knowledge, there's nobody that has an automated screen printing setup in your area? I mean, I know it's a small area, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was somebody there doing it. One of my other customers that I was talking about that's doing 1.6 million in less than 3 years, he just added a second automated press. He got a hell of a deal on it from a customer, or not a customer, another printer that didn't like their machine and was changing out for an M&R, and so he got a smoking deal on it. Really, flatbed. See, and I've just got a thing against flatbed. I have run the numbers for years and could never have it. It never makes sense for me, never. So I'm like, I can send it out cheaper than I can do it in house, and that doesn't even include the payment or the space. It's like it just doesn't make any sense for me to print flatbed in house. I would definitely go an auto screen setup versus a flatbed printer, but that's me. And I've had numerous companies, Fujitsu, Fuji. I mean, I've had different companies come in trying to, oh, we'd love to sell you a flatbed. I'm like, yeah, I bet you I would. They said, oh, we got a spreadsheet. We can run the numbers. I said, yeah, me too. So they'll run the numbers for me, and it it's like, okay, well, so the number you just ran is like a 30-cent savings per sign for me to do it myself, but that still doesn't include my labor, my space, or the coroplast itself. So the reality is I can still do it cheaper sending it out. Oh, but okay, let's do a bigger quantity. Let's do 400 signs. I'm like, okay, let's do 400 signs. We'll run the 400 signs. Guess what? Yeah, the number makes a little bit more sense for them, but it also is cheaper for me to send out. So once again, it's cheaper for me to send it out than it is to print it in house. So it's just, like I said, I've run those numbers on and off for probably 7, 8 years, and it's never made sense. Again, run the numbers, do what works for you, but um, you know, I don't have any flat direct stock work that they need that fast, right? And it still doesn't make sense even on a 4x8 flatbed. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it kind of does. You could kind of do it, but I mean, if you've got somebody that wants, oh, I only need 4 signs. Yeah, it's still going to be a whole lot cheaper than printing on vinyl and having to stick it on, laminate it, and then stick it on coroplast, which obviously your cost is dramatically less to print direct. But you've got a lease payment of God knows what, or a finance payment or whatever, plus the space, plus the energy, plus the, anyhow, like I said, run the numbers and do what makes sense, but it's never worked. It's never made sense for me. Maybe so, but I mean, you know, even if you go to like Science 365, which I don't use much, but I mean, even if you go to a bigger national flat printer, even with shipping, it makes sense to send it out. I'm fortunate that I do have some of the big players print have regional print shops here, so I do get free delivery on the truck, which is nice. I don't have to deal with sometimes shipping, but um, yeah, it's just like I said, do what makes sense for you. The Epson? No, the Epson I got from Imaging Spectrum, which is my old neighbors. They used to be across the street from my old shop that I was in for 15 years. Hang on one sec. Yeah, that's where I would go get the Epson F570 too, and that's where Juan got his 6370, the 44-inch die sub printer. I would say, you know, for me, the flatbed niche was if I did a ton of like on-demand, quick, flat, custom shaped prints, then it starts to make more sense. You know, if I had let's say a 4x8 flatbed and at least a 4x8 router, or let's say the Suma, where you could do your custom shapes with Coroplast, PVC, Ultraboard, etc., and that was your niche, no problem. You can make money doing that because you're talking custom shapes. It's not like a generic thing, right? But that's just, you know, we do custom shapes, but it's not a high demand thing, and it's still easier for me to just do the vinyl, especially if it's a one off or a two off. It's just so much easier for me to just print it and then either throw it on the CNC and cut it or just cut it by hand. Printer, it's the wide. It's basically a 64 inch. My old Muto, or my last two Mutos were 54s, just because it didn't make sense for me to go much wider because most of the media is 54-inch. I mean, that's the most common media. So it didn't make sense for me, but Epson doesn't make a 54 and the pricing was good and it gives me a little bit more flexibility to print on 60-inch rolls when I need to. So this one is bigger. It takes up almost 2 more square feet or 2 feet wider of space. Avalue? I don't know Avalue, sorry. And Epson doesn't, the Epson S series doesn't have anything smaller than this. It's possible. Roland does have a smaller one. I think they've got a 54, like the VG 540, which is, oh, okay, yeah, that's possible. Um, yeah, and that five, it's funny though, because that 540 is big. It's a big printer. It's surprisingly large for its print size. Um, I mean, it prints the same width as my Muto, but it's like, I think it's 15 or 18 inches wider physically, the whole printer. Like I don't quite understand why it takes up such the space it does. But anyhow, Take a look at that one real quick. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I meant to actually get all these jobs printed over the weekend, and I had forgotten to friggin' go on Friday and pick up ink, so I was like low. I didn't want to take a chance of running out over the weekend and having a line sit dry. So I ran out after I finished unwrapping that Tesla Model X this morning. I just ran up to Imaging Spectrum and grabbed the ink that I needed. Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, like I said, I've never used any of the HP anything, so don't have much info on that. But if it works for you, that's all that matters. So. Telling you, man, the weather is freaking nice right now. Like I said, it's a little warm, but it's one nice thing about having these big windows right here that I'm looking at. The camera is actually mounted between the windows. So I'm looking out the windows at the park right here. Actually, I could kind of turn it and let you see a little bit. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this. It's probably a little bright, but there's the partial view. It's probably a little blinding, but it is what it is. I'd like to get those what are those cameras called? The SDI, blah 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 blah. The Mevos. I'd like to get the Mevos, which I found out some bad news. Well, some news I'm not thrilled about. Mevo got bought by Logitech. Oh, sorry. So I think what I was referring to is the silvering or micro bubbles are most noticeable in the matte lamp. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably right. Did you notice it if you kind of went over it with a hand squeegee after it was laminated? Did it start to go away? Because that's probably the same thing that I see. Watch the wildfire? What wildfire is there? Yeah, thanks. Right next to a city park, and then a fire station's directly across from the park. Of course, I'm looking at my monitors. You know, the big monitors are blocking a lot of that view. I've got to kind of peek up over. But now that I got the big Muto out of here, I may rearrange things a little bit, and that way I can look out the window cleaner. Yeah, so that Mevo Start 3-pack is $1,000. I mean, I like the concept. You know, it's SDI, wireless streaming. You can just set it, have different views preset. but I guess I need 1,000+ subscribers before I do it. Or any of the current X number of subscribers could send me, you know, $4 or $5 a piece, and then we'll add the cameras sooner than later. Interesting. They must still be selling well because, well, either that or Logitech's messing with the supply because they're back ordered everywhere now. Oh, wildlife. Sorry. Got it. I read that. I read that too fast. All right, let me go check that print real quick. All right, looks good. So now I just need to print one piece, which I think is kiosk 1. Where is it? Thought I had it up here. Is it kiosk 1? Yeah, 27 by 74 inches. I hate when it's kind of an odd size. I mean, we end up wasting a lot of material, but is what it is, right? Send that to print. Yeah, because I'd like to use those Mevos out. Well, I'd like to have one set up here, and I'd like to have at least 1 or 2 of them out in the production room, especially when I'm doing car wraps or sign production, the bigger sign production pieces out there. It'd be a whole lot more convenient. Oh, you mean just now? Yeah, no, I was just checking. This was a reprint because the customer art was a little screwy. So I was just trying to see, you know, compare this print to the previous print when the last set of art that they had for me. So just a quick look at the details. Yeah, the take up reel on the Epson's phenomenal. Man, it doesn't get off. It auto. Well, it's one of the things that's cool with the Epson when you load it, it actually does like a pretty strong feed and a back feed, and it actually realigns it automatically. I don't know how it does that, but it does. And then both the take up reel and the feed reel have logic built into them. It's not just simple like the Muto was. So anyhow, works really well. I've just sent a full roll to print before and not had a single issue. Tell you what, I'm gonna go refill my water. I'll be right back. Sounds like the printer is doing a clean. Excuse me. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It kind of feels empty in here right now with the old printer gone. I mean, it took up all that space. You can kind of see some of the print roll media here. I'll just let me zoom out. There you go. You can kind of see some of the print media and some of the colored media. And then the printer was this way. So this is all empty space now, pretty much. Whoops. Let me fix that real quick. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, one thing that stinks with the Epson was doing a cool thing. Warranty, customer, warranty stuff and, extended warranty, etc. And then they got rid of all that. So that kind of stinks. So now you really don't get any points for anything, and yet that was one of their sales pushes for the first couple of years, but not anymore, which kind of stinks. Oh well. Yeah, they all got to make their changes, right? Why did I move it out? I'm sorry, what did I move what out? Oh, we talking about the Muto? That was my second printer, my old printer. and it was starting to have issues. Just wasn't worth replacing all the parts, and it's kind of what prompted me to get the new Epson. So I was originally going to sell it when I sold the old Graphtec 2, but the more it sat here and the longer it took to try and sell, the more problems it started to have, and I'm like, it's just not worth my time anymore. So moved it out. I'm just noticing my battery is about to go on the Epson, or on the camera. Hey, what's up, Texas Finest? How you doing, man? My battery on the camera is about to go, so you'll lose me for a minute, but let me cycle this real quick. I do still have audio and I can still see you, so not to worry too much. All right, let's try that battery and see if it's better. There we go. I'm back. Hey man, yeah, no, we had a Graphtec 54-inch that I've had since 2008. Sold that earlier this year. Bought the new Graphtec 9000 54-inch to replace it. Prior to that, in 1999, I had a 24-inch. And as far as printers, this is my third wide format printer, so that's kind of what we were just talking about. I had a Muto 54-inch we bought in 2008, another Muto 54-inch we bought in 2000, and I think it was 16. Yeah, 16. And then we just got the new Epson to replace that one. What can I do? It's a solvent printer, so anything that I can do solvent printing on. So, I mean, most of our business is signage and vehicle wraps, but I mean, we do it all. Windows, banners, you name it. Actually, I even print. I've got a 24-inch roll for my film, for doing film for screen printing, and I do my printing on that printer as well of my negatives, although I'm not screen printing in-house anymore, but anyhow, I was. So I can still print the films, so I can still print larger films for people. Yep, sounds like a lot of sublimation, which I'm using an Epson 1430 for our sublimation. Came close to getting that 570 a few times, but just haven't done enough sublimation work to make it worthwhile yet. Juan would make me a good deal on his, so. Oh, the Eco Tank 2720. Yeah, doesn't that one only do like 8x10? I don't remember what size that does. I can't remember. It's one thing I like with at least the Epson, the 1430. I can do the big stuff relatively. I mean, it's all relative, I guess. But you know, it's what we used to use for printing our films because I can do 13 by 19, so it's not bad. It's not the 570, but oh yeah, so it's 8.5 by 11, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if I were gonna do 8.5 by 11s, I'd probably get that. I'd probably get the F170, but like I said, I wouldn't even mess with it. But if you've already got it, it's great, man. Stick with what works. And yeah, if you've looked at some of my other YouTube videos, we've done some paneling, like when we did larger prints on floor mats and stuff like that. Yep, just tape them all together. Then it's just, then the challenge is just making sure you accurately tape them together, you got the right bleeds, and then being real careful when you heat press them as well. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, Imaging Spectrum's got the Epson 570 and since the F570s in stock too, so I could go pick one up today. I think GSG has, I think they still have stock of them too, so I could always drive over there and pick one up too. A little bit further for me, but yeah, they've got 7. Let's see. Yeah, they got 7 in the Dallas warehouse at GSG, so I got at least 2 places I could go get those. Decal banner, like a green screen. Okay, I need a little better explanation. I mean, we've got a lot of options. Um, I mean, we do wall mural graphics, we do regular decal style. We can do banners, we can do fabric backdrops. We've actually printed green screens. We print a lot of step and repeat backdrops on sublimated fabric. So it just depends on exactly what you're needing or what you're wanting. $956. So you're way south, man. Like that's Brownsville area, right? Okay, so yeah, you're talking about like a mural. Yeah, I mean we do wall murals all the time. Got a lot of examples on our Facebook page, which actually you can't see right now, so that doesn't really help. And I want to say Instagram's down too, right? They're both Facebook, so um, I need to probably need to put some of that stuff up on our web page, which I don't have much up there. It's more generic stuff. Um, let's see, can I post? Hang on, let me. Yeah, it's a challenge. Let me go find. Let's see. Let me look real quick. But yeah, I mean, if you want a mural, basically what we would just need is what the size of the mural is, the art, and then I need to know the type of wall surface. That, or we could send you some sample material for you to put on the walls and check which one works because different wall textures and paints respond differently to different vinyls, different material that we use on the walls. So we usually go out and do some wall sensitivity testing to see what material is going to work best, and then we use that to print it. Okay, so so now, so you want a banner then, something that you would hang on the wall? Um, if that's the case, then the most cost-effective thing that we would do is print it on our lightweight um, matte vinyl banner material. So it would be lighter weight, would be less reflective, and it would be the cheapest option. Um, the thing is, that's a 4.5 foot roll. So basically, you'd kind of limit yourself in one direction to 4.5 feet. So you could do 4.5 by 5, or 4.5 by 6, or 4.5 by whatever you want. Um, or we could do it on a little bit more expensive material that's larger, and then we could actually do a true 5 by 5 for you, or larger. Or we could do it on fabric, which is like stretch fabric, and we could either put grommets around it or pole pockets, and you could use that, or we could leave it raw fabric edged. There's a lot of options. 4 by 5. So if we just did a 4 by 5 on a lightweight banner material for you, like the 10 ounce matte standard vinyl banner, um, I mean, you're looking at like $60 plus shipping. So, and that's provided you send us print ready art. Oh, outside on your fence. Okay. So if you want to do outside on your fence, then I would say go with our standard 13 ounce material, and we would actually hem the edges to give it strength to handle the wind and that kind of stuff. It really doesn't affect the price a ton. A 4 by 5 that way would be about $70. It's like $10 extra. So not a significant difference. Yeah, if it's an outside, you're right. I mean, 10 ounces is fantastic for inside. Um, but yeah, for outdoor mesh, I don't like mesh. We use mesh on like for sports teams and stuff like that, but they're typically only up for a year or two anyhow. Or if we're doing big building sides of buildings, they'll do mesh so they can see through them. And good mesh is expensive too. And it doesn't have the print quality. On something huge, it's fine, but something smaller, it's kind of like window perf. You lose a lot of the visibility and the ink saturation. We've done banners since the 90s, so there you go. Here's a some of the larger wall murals we've done. That one's 90 feet, 95 linear feet, 9 feet tall. This one's 68 linear feet, 9.5 feet tall. Kind of see the befores over here on the side and the afters over here. But we've done a lot of wall murals. So Grimco, yeah. Problem with a lot of the materials right now is, especially banner material, man, there's like none available. They're all waiting. They're all sitting in containers, waiting. But yeah, they've got their own versions of materials, like their Duratex line. Okay, so now I need to swap material and print these other graphics. And that sun is blinding up front. I'm getting a big glare. How's the runtime? It's hard to say. I will say that the very first set of the Epson lasted a long friggin' time. I mean, as far as capacity, it's way more, right? So, if you my Muto 54 ran the 220 milliliter inks. Now I did sometimes put the 440s in it, even though it was not supposed to, quote unquote. Um, but the Epson takes a 700 milliliter, so a bit more. And the price is really pretty damn good. I think the 440s from Muto were like 130 it's 130 something bucks, 136, 135, something like that for a 440. And the Epson 700s, which is a better quality ink, the Epson 700s are 150. So as far as that goes, it's been great. Oh, interesting. It looks like Grimco actually got some of their Duratex 13-ounce reverse wound in stock. They've been out. They've been waiting on a container. So their price has gone up. 54-inch by 164 is up to 160 bucks. Are you looking at the S series, the 4.0 or the 6.0 or the 8.0? Interesting. They've got the forward wound at a better price. Unavailable. Yeah, so that's the back ordered one. I prefer the reverse wound, but they don't have the reverse wound in the 115 right now. They only have it in the 164, which is a heavy roll. Of course, you could sometimes get it in the 328-foot roll, which is really heavy. Curious if these guys got their banner in yet. Let's go look real quick. 13-ounce, nope, out of stock. Out of stock in every size. No, they've got 1,202-inch rolls in stock. And they've got 3,326-inch rolls in stock. So, if you're running a 10-foot wide printer, they have, oh, they got one roll of that in stock. Interesting. I just wish it had a better life. Man, you're getting a heck of a lot of glare on that printer, aren't you? Guests experience team survey. Okay, whoops. That reminds me, I'm still waiting to hear back on my PPP forgiveness thing. Be nice to get that dealt with. All right. Well, I should probably... Actually, let me check because I may have this already set up. No, I don't. That's going to be cut vinyl, 72 by 48 inches, so I'm going to have to break that up. This one is 36 by 23. $36 by 23. I don't know what that one's for. Oh, yeah, I do. So there's two of those in white. 36 by 23 and 36 by 23. 36, 36. Yeah, I can do both of these the same way. That's interesting. Hey, Texas Finest, who are you saying that? James Hetfield? Are you serious? That's a random one I've never heard. Maybe it's a black t-shirt and the glasses right now. I don't know. Well, crap, I thought I set that one up for print. That is not set up for print. Is that one set up? That one's just cut, so that one's an easy one. Wealth waves. That one's set up? That one's not set up. I'm totally confused. That one is set up. That one. Oh, man. Getting my yawns on. That one's set up. How the heck did I miss this? Right, so this needs to get set up for cut. Contour cut. We go to... let's see where we're at here. That is going to be awful small. Excuse me. Got the yawns going. All right, so this one, you know what? Let's try it. Let's move that one down. Well, that is 98 inches wide. That is not going to work. 64 inches wide. All right, so this needs to convert. Let's do this. $46, that's better. Okay, so I can print those. Okay, get those going. Nobody else is chatting, man. What's going on? Come on. Everybody working like me, huh? That's why I'm not too focused on answering what's going on here. Guess it happens, right? We all get busy, especially on a Monday afternoon. And did 2 dance floors this weekend too. More wraps. It's weird, they come in like floods, and then we get these times when it gets slow, and I get worried because then they call like last minute wanting to book something. Okay, I don't know if I pushed that up. Let me check. Yeah, no, I'm good. Put this out in the production room and trash this little link. All right, so that's how money works. Ah, cool. You do a full-size transit or a connect or what? We did some long wheelbase medium roof transits, 2 of them last month, a couple weeks back. Ended up just paneling those sides because it was way easier to do that. So just paneled the 3 pieces, the 3 panels that are the back sides together. So we basically did, like 12 feet roughly by 9 feet, 8.5. Just did that as one big panel on that. Made it a lot easier. We finished those each in like a day and a half. They were pretty quick. Oh, the Connect. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Connects, especially the newer Connects. Yeah, they're not bad at all. They're good. Especially for a partial, man. They work great for partials. A lot of times we'll just do a fade to white on the front door, or that way you don't have to wrap that front fender and the front bumper. There's not much value to that extra space, so maybe just do a partial or a logo full color contour cut print on the hood. But that is good. Which printer are you running now? Oh yeah, 1624. Okay. A monster 10 foot. What's that? Here's one of the partials I was talking about. The style we do a lot. Let me see if I can find my screen. Here you go. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the older style Transit, but we do a lot of partials on these. You know, it makes it look like it's a fuller wrap, but it really isn't. You know, we just do this cutaway and then extend the printed and cut vinyl onto it so it looks like it's a bigger wrap than it is. And then we do a lot of race teams, race cars, which is cool seeing some of the televised races and you see them on the on TV, which is kind of neat. A lot of these church graphics too. A lot of windows, floors, hanging signs. Cleaning on the Epson's great. It kind of handles most of it itself, and then the standard wipe stuff, the standard like cleaning that it wants you to do, is so far super simple. So haven't had any issues with that. Yeah. So here's the full size Transits. We did two of these full wraps. These were a little bit more pain, of course, because you got to wrap the upper sections as well. But these are the ones, like I said, we just paneled this section, with that big recess. We pre-paneled those three pieces, so that way it was like a 12-foot long piece that just applied as one, so you didn't have to worry about trying to line everything up with these big recesses. That was the second one right there, actually. This was a fun one because it was pretty simple. It was already blue, so we just kind of did the low graphics, the logos. This is the one we just finished this week, or this weekend. This was like a dark metallic blue new Pathfinder, and they wanted a kind of this gray with this 80s theme. And then we even did, you can kind of, you can't really see it in these pictures, but we've even did a carbon fiber pattern up high. And this was today's unwrap. So that was this morning. Yeah, this mural we did, golly, we did this back in, gosh, I can't even remember when. I mean, it's been over about 15 years. It's been close. But Orifal at the time, Oracal, used this job in their industry print magazines for years, and so we got a little claim, where it said NovoWorks in the tiny print. It was kind of cool. They used it in their print media for 7 years. And it's funny because you can still see some of those pictures on some of the industry websites that sell the product. Kind of funny. Yeah, another mural. This was a combination when we did wall mural, and then we did this at an cut acrylic. So this is dimensional. I think we did this in 5/8 acrylic. So it's kind of floating on the wall a little bit. Anyhow. Yeah, Muto, they were doing through Fellers, they were doing a smoking deal on that new Muto um, for a little bit. I mean, I was surprised at how cheap it was. That 16, what is it, 1641 SR? Is that the one? 1641 SR? Um, or is it, yeah, 1641 SR, which they list at like 18 grand, but man, Fellers was doing them for like 10 grand for a while. Uh, Crazy good deal. If I was interested in staying with the Muto line, that's definitely the direction I would have went. And that's the new ink technology and stuff too, which is cool. What's up, Waldo? Yeah, the Muto was it was a great deal on that thing. You know, like I said, if you were wanting to go that direction, and they were the only place doing it. Muto, they bought like 2 containers full from Muto. Fellers did, so they were blowing them out, man. They were selling them. Definitely a deal. Because at the current price, I mean, there's no question in the 15 to plus $1,000 range. There's no way I'd get that Muto. I'd stick with the Epson. I mean, it's still using two generation back Epson heads. I mean, Epson's always going to have the latest head technology, so. Yeah, well, Fillers is all around, right? There's a ton of Fillers locations, but yes, we do have one right here in Dallas. Well, actually, we have two. I get free delivery, courier delivery from two of them here in Dallas. So one out of Dallas proper and one out of Grand Prairie. So yeah, I'm pretty fortunate on the Filler side. And then of course they're based in Tulsa, which is only what, 4 hours away, 5 hours away. All right, so that print finished. Let me check and see what is the next one. Which info, man? No problem. I'm glad I could help, but I don't know which info you which info you're talking about. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's been expired now for a while. I mean, that was a couple months back, so I don't. They're not doing any of that crap now. Um, Imaging Spectrum, the place I was telling you about here, they've got, and they'll, I mean, that includes shipping. They'll freight it. They'll do, they ship all over. But they've got the S40600 with the Graphtec 54-inch 9000 cutter for just under 16. Um, so not a bad deal for that combination. Because I mean, if you get just the S4060 or 4600, 40600, it's like 11, which is with a $4,000 rebate right now. But so it's like 10,995. But for less than 16, you can add the Graphtec 9000 54-inch. It's a pretty good deal. Yeah, if you're good on cutters, then you're good. So yeah, I mean, again, but honestly, for the 40600 for 11 versus the Muto at the 10 price, I still would have went Epson over it. But now that the Muto is back up, 14 to 16 grand, there's no way I'd touch that. Again, just me. And I know Mutos real well. I mean, I've worked on them quite a bit. So the Epson will be a little different if and when the time comes that I got to really tear into it. But okay. I do like the 9000. The GrafTech 9000 is a nice change, and that's the only reason I got it was just to get some of the new 9000 features that I didn't have on my old GrafTech. So, and I sold mine for $2,500. So reality is I only have about 2,500 to 3,000 in the brand new one. So it's a pretty darn good deal. Actually, no, I've got like, yeah, 2,500 in it. Now, granted, if you need the production speed, then look at the the S60 600 series. Um, that one basically you get double the head, two of the heads, and double the ink. So that one has quite a bit more speed capacity, but it's also closer to 19 grand. So. Yeah, Waldo, I haven't sold any of those parts yet. I've got them all sitting in my post-production room. I need to take pictures and post them up. That'll take some time to get rid of those. But I did all the research, and it's funny because a lot of those parts are selling for the used price or selling for the same price you can buy them new in China, which is surprising. But I mean, you got to wait God knows how long to get them, where we can ship right now. But so I do need to go ahead and put up those parts. I didn't keep everything, but most of the electronic boards I took out. So the main motherboard, the heat controller, the drive motors, the two drive motors, the power supply, the control board, yeah, I mean, I took almost all that stuff out. Man, that sun out front is blinding. You can tell that front faces east. So, and the sun is going down, so it's coming in that front window. A little bit better. See if it helps a little bit. A little less blinding for you guys. See, I need my 1,000 subs so I can get my so I can go live on my phone. You know, when I take the Lexa or when I take that Tesla out here in a little bit. Actually, it is tinted, believe it or not. If I had more front light on the printer, it would be less of an issue. Because or if it's worse. It's pretty much the same. Which is surprising because it's not really that. That is just completely bizarre the way it's glaring. Because those blinds are mostly closed. Oh, you know what it is? It's the highlight above the blinds. Above that area. Oh well, no big deal. So yeah, you're seeing the reason it's changing every once in a while is the tree is moving and it's the tree is moving and it's changing it. But even that upper window is also tinted. But you know how that goes. It's like any extra sunlight, especially direct sun, throws the camera off when it's trying to do light balancing or white balance, excuse me. So what's up with you, Waldo? You out driving around too, or are you pretending to work? I may use this higher end etched vinyl on that job, even though it's printable. It just goes down so much easier. Getting done. Are you an hour ahead or are you the same time? Are you four? Is it 4 o'clock there or 5 o'clock? Eddie, on mine, the 9000, I got the 54 inch. I just don't do enough 60-inch cut that I need to worry about it. Most anything I do 60-inch is typically like banner or wraps, stuff that I don't need to cut. So it's not, hadn't been an issue. Let alone the extra space it takes. Yeah, okay, Waldo. So yeah, we're in the same time zone. I thought so. Work till 4:30. Oh, you poor guy. I had a couple of 9 o'clock pluses last week. Today I'll probably be a little late just because my wife's going to be out late. And I've got to try and get these two jobs closer to ready to install than they are now. Although I may wait and laminate everything tomorrow. Videos, you don't edit anything, so what's there to work on? You just record and say, here, post, or live here. I need to work on some videos again, but I've just been too randomly busy to mess with it. That's why I figured throw this live up. At least I'll get a little bit of online time. Especially with Facebook and Instagram down. Doesn't necessarily affect me, but you know, I do deal with quite a few customers on there, so that makes it a little challenging. Now, you're the one doing one take. I've definitely had to do more than one take. If it's long, I say screw it and just go with what I have or just skip it, but I guess I could have jumped on, where is it? I can't do it now, can I? Can't jump on StreamYard. I got to add that as a separate, I got to do that separately. Then I could have had people join in. Maybe later. I do need to get to a stopping point. As soon as this print finishes, I'll probably need to jump offline so I can go take this Tesla up to get washed. I need to get that finished. I think customer's coming up tomorrow to pick that up. Actually, it looks like that print is finished. Let me go double check. Yipper, we're good. So I think I'm going to jump off and go get that Tesla done, come back, get more of this other job into production and finished up. I don't think I've got any more of this needs to go to print. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this stuff. So anyhow, I am going to roll for now. I may jump back on a little later. We'll see. I may just use, I may jump on with StreamYard. That way I can have other people jump in. So, hope everybody has a good one. It was good chatting, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.